That's a lot of action.
Okay. All right, everyone, here we go. Lynn? Okay. We'll call to order the regular school board meeting and actually the organizational school board meeting of January 10th, 2022. It's 7:02. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, Lynn, when you're ready, go ahead with roll call.
McDonald.
Here.
Farmeter.
Here.
Peterson. Here. Proctor.
Here.
Podgornik.
Here.
Shelton. Here. Ward.
Here.
Student liaison members, Sydney Hadrick, Sophia Lawrence Swanson. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 4 on the agenda is an election of the chairperson. Do we go ahead with a motion for this again, Steve? Do you want to remind me, or do we just open up nominations?
You gotta,
Motion?
you have to open up nominations so you know how to make a motion.
Sure, I understand. We'll open up nominations for chairperson for the board. Jennifer McDonald served as chairperson during the past year. Nominations are now in order for the office of chair. Are there any nominations?
I'll nominate Jen for chair again.
Jennifer McDonald has been nominated for chair. Are there any other nominations?
I'll nominate Amy Pockernich, who served as our vice chair last year, but I think we could, it would be good for the organization to have a change of pace, change of leadership.
Thank you. There's a nomination for Amy Pockernich. Are there any other nominations? Are there any further nominations for the office of chair? If there are no further nominations for the office of chair are closed. Thank you. So there is a nomination for 2 different people for chair. For this, we can go ahead with a vote. Those voting for Jennifer McDonald,
I think we need to do roll call.
we will do a roll call, I guess, okay? Then, do you want to just do roll call for each?
Sure.
Or do you want to do,
Um,
a pass-through vote? Like everyone
we
go?
could just do a pass-through.
Right.
And I can just highlight which person
Sure.
each one votes for.
All right, so we can start with the right.
Should we do discussion first? Or is it just because it's a different type of meeting? How does that work, Steve?
We typically haven't had discussion during these times.
Know the answer on that.
No, we haven't had any discussion in the past, but I don't know that that's the rule. but
I
that's-
just have a few questions then, if you'd entertain those. I'm
Sure.
just curious, of the folks that are on this board, how many have served in the leadership capacity before? Larry, I don't know your history, if you have ever been board chair.
I have for several years.
Okay, and,
This is my last year. I'm not running for election,
okay,
so I don't care to be
Chair.
chair or vice chair.
okay. And I'm not sure about Joel.
Oh, she asked if you had ever been the chair.
Yes, I have served a couple terms as chair.
Okay, consecutively?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And Lynn?
No, I have not served as chair.
Okay. And Jen, I know you've led us through COVID the last 2 years. How many years have you served as chair since you've been on the board?
I served, I believe, one other time.
Okay, so 3 years?
Yep.
Okay. Amy, have you?
No.
No, because you were
Just the vice chair was the first
been the
position I
two.
held.
Okay, and then we're the newbies. So we're good.
Yeah, no comment.
Okay. I just would usher in a request for a change. I think Jen has handled the board, my real experiences last year worked very well. However, I think we've set up a situation where we have a vice chair in place for a purpose, and I think it's time for a new change in leadership. So I would recommend that. Thank you, that's all.
All right. Any other discussion?
Well, I just think that since we're going through so much right now, I think I'm just happy the way how everything is going so far myself. So that's just my opinion.
All right. Lynn, do you want to go ahead with roll call then?
Yes, Larry, and then indicate which person that you're voting for.
I will vote for Jen McDonald.
It'll take me a second to highlight what this is.
Yes, it is, young man. I'll pull it closer. How's that?
Ward,
Jen McDonald.
I will vote for Jen McDonald.
I'll vote for Jennifer McDonald.
I'll vote for myself, Amy
Hang
Pockenich.
hang on, I'm sorry.
that's all right.
It just takes me a while to highlight. Thank you, Amy. Kim
I'll vote for Amy Pockenich.
and Jim.
I'll vote for Jennifer, please.
Okay, Jennifer was elected with a vote of 5 to 2. It'll just take me a second to get this in.
Can we comment about our decision after that, or is it all done and done here now?
Done.
Pardon me?
Usually it's just done. Usually we have never had discussion or commented after.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm up to speed, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Lynn. Number 5 on the agenda is an election of vice chairperson and treasurer. We will open nominations for the vice chairperson and treasurer of the board. Amy Pockenich served as vice chair treasurer during the past year. Nominations are now in order for the office of vice chair treasurer. Are there any nominations?
I'll nominate Joe Ward.
There's a nomination for Joe Ward. Are there any further nominations for the office of vice chair?
I'll nominate Amy Pockenich, who served in that capacity last year.
Thank you very much. There's a nomination for Amy Pockenich for the role of vice chair and treasurer. Are
And
there any?
I'd like to ask again if anybody else has filled in this role before.
Can we
just for
finish
my-
nominations, please?
I thought we were.
Nope, I've not done 3.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Are there any further nominations?
Did you want to nominate?
Are there any further nominations? If there are no further nominations, the nominations for the office of vice chair treasurer are closed. Did you have a comment, Kim?
Yes, I did. I would like to know from the history of the organization who has served in this capacity before. As a new board member, I'd like to know. Starting with Larry again.
I was vice chair for a couple terms. I don't remember when, but
Okay.
in my years on the board.
Joe, have you ever served in this role?
Yes, I have served as vice chair also.
Okay. No,
I served a year.
you served a year. Okay. Just last year. Jim, we're just.
No,
the
we're
newbies.
even. We're 0-0. We're batting zeros here.
All right. Okay.
Any further discussion on this matter? Thank you.
You can start that way.
That's fine.
for roll call. Okay.
We'll go ahead with roll call. We'll start with Jim.
Oh, to vote on who we want?
Yep.
I'll vote for Amy Pakunich.
Kim?
I will vote for Amy Pakunich as well.
I'll vote for
Amy.
myself, Amy Packernich.
Jen?
Joe Ward.
Oh, me, sorry. I'll vote for Amy. Joe?
I'll vote for Joe.
And Larry.
I will vote for Joe as well.
Okay, it does, in the notes, it says unanimously elected by vote of acclamation.
No, that was from last year.
Oh, that's
Yep.
just in there because of that?
Yep, if it was a vote of acclamation,
Okay,
but it's not.
okay. Okay, so Amy Packernich was elected to vice chair, treasurer of the board.
Thank you, everyone. We'll move on to number 6, the election of clerk. We will open nominations for clerk of the board. Lynn Peterson has served as clerk during the past year. Are there any nominations?
I would like to nominate Lynn Peterson if she's willing to continue in this capacity.
There's a nomination for Lynn Peterson. Are there any further nominations?
Hang on, this is not going in the right line.
I don't mean to laugh, but just we're nominating you and you have
It's
to.
not.
That's a good
I know.
reference.
All right. Click on a Google Doc and watch where it goes.
I know.
You can't hear me? Good. Okay, sorry. It's in here.
We're good?
We're good.
All right. Are there any further nominations for clerk? Are there any further nominations for clerk? If there are no further nominations, nominations for the office of clerk are closed. And being that Lynn Peterson is the only candidate nominated for the office of clerk, I hereby declare her elected by acclamation and direct her to record so in the minutes.
Has anybody else been clerk ever before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, Jenna served as clerk. Joe? No?
It's a busy position.
See that after we close. Thank you, I appreciate the history.
All right. Thank you. All right. We'll continue on with the organizational school board meeting here with number 7, bonding of designated district positions. The district has included $100,000 as a blanket bond for all positions under the current insurance carrier, thus a separate bond is not necessary, is the indication. Looking for a motion to approve.
So moved by Amy.
There's a motion by Amy. Is there a second? I can second that. Any questions regarding this? Kind of standard organizational meeting piece. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And those opposed? Excuse me. That motion carries. Number 8 is a designation of official depositories. Designate the First National Bank of Proctor, the Proctor Federal Credit Union, PMA Financial Network, Prudent Man Advisors, Members Cooperative Credit Union, and PFM Minnesota School District Liquid Asset Fund as the official depositories for ISD 704. Looking for a motion.
I'll make it.
Thank
Larry?
you, Larry. Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Thank you, Jim. Any questions regarding this?
No changes, Steve?
Nope.
Very good.
All right, hearing none. Other than that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and those opposed? And that motion carries.
I'll abstain.
Thank you. Sorry.
Got it.
Thank you. Number 9, board member compensation. Set board member compensation for 2022 through 2023. Compensation has been $50 per meeting, and number 2, $100 per month for chair, and number 3, $60 per month for clerk. Looking for a motion to keep board compensation the same.
So moved by Amy.
There's a motion by Amy. Is there a second?
Second that, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Any questions regarding compensation? Historically, typically the acting board does not make changes to their own compensation. It would usually be made at a different time to affect a different board. If need be. Any comments at all? Right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? And that motion carries. Number 10 is to designate the official newspaper. Designate the Proctor Journal as the official newspaper of the district.
So moved, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Larry. Any questions regarding our official newspaper? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And those opposed? And that motion carries. Number 11, electronic transfer authorization. Designate electronic transfer authorization to John Engelking or Stephen W. Anderson or Robin Hanson. I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Lynn. Any questions regarding electronic transfers? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and those opposed? And that motion carries. Number 12, bank signature authorization. Let's see here. We'll designate the following individuals as authorized signers for district accounts at the First National Bank of Proctor. General Fund checking account, board chairperson and board clerk as check signers. Stephen W. Anderson or Robin Hanson for all other non-cash transactions. Petty cash account will be for John Engelking or Stephen W. Anderson or Robin Hanson. Flex account, John Engelking or Stephen W. Anderson or Robin Hanson. Also to designate the following individuals as authorized signers for district accounts at Proctor Federal Credit Union, John Engelking or Stephen W. Anderson. And designate the following individuals as authorized signers for direct or district accounts at the Members Cooperative Credit Union, John Engelking or Stephen W. Anderson.
I have these as 3 separate
Oh.
on my notes.
Okay, then we will back up and just do the first one.
The first one is for the First National Bank of Proctor.
Sure, certainly. So the First National Bank of Proctor, looking for a motion.
So moved by Amy.
There's a motion by Amy. Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Thank you, Jim. Any questions at all? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And those opposed? That motion carries. B would be to designate the signers for Proctor Federal Credit Union of John Engelking or Stephen W. Anderson. Is there a motion?
So moved.
There's a motion by Lynn. Is there a second?
Second by, oh, Larry, you can have it.
Thank you, guys. All right. Larry's up with a second. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstain?
Joe, right?
Nope. I can vote on,
Oh,
Okay.
Credit union you can, even when you're on the
I
board?
can vote on the credit union
Okay.
for signers.
Okay.
Okay, I just wasn't sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And then the signers for Members Cooperative Credit Union, John Engelking or Stephen W. Anderson. Looking for a motion.
Yeah, I'll give the motion.
Thank you, Jim. Is there a second? I can make that. Any questions at all? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? And that motion carries. Number 13, school board meeting schedule. This motion will be to set the school board meeting dates and locations for 2022. Meetings are held at 7 p.m. on the second and fourth Monday of each month unless it's a holiday or otherwise noted, except during July and December when only one meeting is held on the second Monday. Meetings are held in the community room at St. Luke's Sport and Event Center. The board meeting schedule is included, including all of those dates. And I think we've avoided Memorial Day in May. And that would be it.
Mm-hmm.
And we also avoided the other holiday, which one has always been one that we, Columbus Day. So, okay. Look, thank you very
Sorry.
much, Lynn. I was going to say, and then is there a second? I can
Yeah, I'll
make that.
second it.
Oh, go ahead, Jim. Does anyone have any questions regarding our meeting schedule for the year? Anyone see any conflicts that no one else might have grabbed at all?
The only one I'm gonna miss is the 124. I'll be in Arizona.
Enjoy.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I'm sure you are.
Then the warm.
Yeah.
No one mentions that we're meeting on Valentine's Day.
I saw that.
I know.
Man,
For
I
being
saw
what?
that.
Valentine's Day.
Oh.
I know.
Is it?
Aw.
Oh, wow.
Birthday.
You shouldn't have told me
Reason
that.
enough.
Maybe I'll
No
make
better place
Valentine
to go
cake.
than here for that, huh? We'll bring you a heart cake or something.
I make a Valentine cake. You watch. All right. We'll see if I can get one out. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 And those opposed? And that motion carries. Item number, I gotta do some math here, folks, 14. A designation of school attorney. Designate Maggie Waldner of Kennedy and Graven Chartered as the official school district attorney and designate the superintendent, business manager, and the school board chair in situations that require school board involvement as the district individual is authorized to contact our school district attorney. I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you very much, Larry. Any questions regarding this matter?
Now they're out of the Twin Cities?
Yes.
How long have we had them?
Long time.
Maggie's
Okay.
been the board attorney as long as I can remember, like
Okay.
close to 20 years. She's done a very good job.
And they specialize in school district. This is one of the
Okay.
areas of specialization.
They've done a phenomenal job for us through all of our issues that we've had over the last 20 years.
Great. Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay. All right, hearing none. All those, no other questions, if there are none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? And that motion carries. Item number 15 is the designation of the Minnesota State High School League representative. We'll look for a motion, and I'd like to nominate Joe Ward to fill this position.
I would second that.
Thank you very much. Any further questions at all?
Was there much involvement with that last year, Joe?
With everything we had going on, there really was not.
Okay.
Minnesota State High School League wasn't meeting in person either or anything like that, so there wasn't a lot of involvement, no.
All right. Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Otherwise, all those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? And that motion carries. Item number 16 is board member committee assignments. A note to review and update committee assignments. We'll make a motion in a second. We can chit chat quick. I'll make the motion. Anyone want to second that to open up discussion quick?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Thank you, Jim. So as far as discussion goes, I don't know that usually the first meeting we just kind of look at things and kind of make our desires noted. Where we'd like to make some changes in any of our committee assignments. If anyone feels like their standing committees are a little bit overwhelming or time consuming or need a change up or desire a change up, I guess we'll just kind of talk about that and kind of put those loose chips out on the table, and then everyone can think about things, and then we'll kind of finalize that committee assignment list maybe next week or next meeting, if that's okay with everyone.
I just wanted to bring up that I am on a ton, and if somebody would like to take the rail safe, that meets quite regularly. If somebody is interested in that, I would be willing to give that up. For new board members, you might want to stick with what you have, because the first year is just sort of getting your feet wet. So you might want to stick, some of you might want to stick where you are, at least, you know, to get more familiarity. But if somebody would like to take my rail safe
RailSafe typically meets a couple Wednesdays a month at 4 o'clock. That's the time. There have been Zoom meetings. Um, so if that's something that someone desires to add to their complement of committee assignments. We don't have any negotiations happening this year, so we can certainly consider leaving those negotiation committees the same if everyone's comfortable with that.
Yeah, and I guess for individual contracts, you know, last year was my first year, so I'd like to stay on that. And I guess knowing that we have a larger contract to come up, I guess, and I don't know, Larry, with your schedule, what your work schedule's like, but I don't know if we want to remove me from alternate just to have 3, just based on.
That's fine. It's with the work, as all companies are, we're short employees.
Right.
So I used to drive around in a truck and keep guys organized. Now I have to go dig because we're short.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants, I'll go to alternate it and let somebody else have it.
I could switch to, I'd be willing to go active, and then you could go to alternate,
That would be fine.
because I had a little bit of a taste of it, but I think it'd be good to have, you know,
And I don't-
another year.
We have a busy year coming up, and the union hall is empty. And I was short 5 guys all summer
Yeah.
due to some health retirements and a couple that I got rid of because of the COVID money they were getting. That's a whole other story, but
Yeah.
I would gladly go to be an alternate. I've been on contracts for many, many years.
Okay.
As we can talk about it, but for the superintendent contract, we should only have one person do that, I believe. That's what I understood.
I don't think,
Because if it's a committee, then it becomes,
I think it's one person that negotiates it, but
Right.
isn't it more than one?
right, but I'm just saying like that one, you know, the committee should decide who does that, you know, as you guys negotiate the contract itself, one person presents.
Okay.
And
I can't.
I think you have principals if you have positions this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And him. Right?
Yeah, well,
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, we've got a couple left over to do, and Steve's is one, the principal's one, and I'd have to go look through it to see who else that never got finished this past year.
yeah, I think the principals are just up. They're off. They're off. So I think you have principals this month.
Yeah, but yours was up last year, right?
Yeah.
So we need to work on
Steve's.
Steve's.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. So just to review standing committees, and then, like I said, right now we have Parmeter, Pockernich, and Shelton for finance. Curriculum and instruction, Peterson, Pockernich, and Podgornick. Operations, McDonald, Peterson, and Ward, with an alternate of Shelton. And then the select committees on the side that meet kind of some scheduled and some infrequent. Anyone want to put any of their committee assignments up for grabs, or just stay the same?
I guess I'm good with mine. I mean, if somebody really wanted finance, I've been on that for a while, but I think that's where I can add value. But I would like to continue with the ones that I have, just because some were the first time last year, and I want to. 1 year with COVID, a couple of years is really not a good experience. You need a little more.
How about this? Does anyone want RailSafe?
I'll stay if nobody wants it.
No, I mean, I'll do it if you want. If it's Wednesdays at 4 o'clock, you said?
Yeah, and it's
Oh, I'm off work at 2 o'clock, and I'm gonna probably might even just retire anyway, so, yeah, I'll have time.
okay.
Okay,
If you want me to do that, that's fine.
okay.
Yeah, and if anybody, so I would take it from you, Lynn, except I have a class that runs right up till then. So it would be really hard to commit the first half of the year to that, so I don't want to, you know.
I hope it's gone soon.
Yes,
Yeah.
that'd be good. And I have meetings, I have chamber meetings that day, so Wednesdays, so that one worked for me.
On the Wednesdays?
Yeah.
I know my cost
Oh, no, I'll
accounting
do it,
students
that'd
really
be fine.
want me there.
That'd be interesting.
It'd be
You know,
good.
and Jim,
Yeah.
if you ever can't, just let me know during the day, and then I'll hop on.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
That's fine.
You know, I don't know if you can do it from balmy Arizona, so just let me know.
I know. My brother twisted my arm for 10 days, so.
So
He
you
bought the
think
tickets,
we
the
should
flights,
put you down as
everything.
an alternate?
I could be an alternate to
Yeah.
the rail safe, sure.
Just asking.
Put that on there because then you'll be included and you'll just default unless someone makes it that they can't be there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that we don't have a quorum showing up at the meeting.
Sure. Certainly. Okay, so that's the only real change that we have other than the individual contracts. We've made an adjustment there. And then rail safe, we made an adjustment there. And then we'll put this in the packet and bring it back for official approval next week. Is that okay? Or next meeting. Is that okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. Sounds good.
So we're not voting.
We're not voting.
Okay.
Discussion. We'll table it till 1:24.
Okay.
Okay. All right, then, with number 17, there is a motion to adjourn the organizational meeting.
So moved by Amy.
There's a motion by Amy. Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Thank you, Jim. Any questions regarding this adjournment? All right, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. And those opposed? And that motion carries at 7:32. Thank you.
No, it's 7:34. I'm not in.
You ready? Okay. All right, we will call to order the regular school board meeting of January 10th, 2022. Preceding this was the organizational meeting of our school year, of this calendar year, excuse me. We will go ahead and go right to roll call.
McDonald,
Here.
Farmeter,
Here.
Peterson, here. Prochnow,
Here.
Pegornik,
Here.
Shelton,
Here.
Ward,
Here.
Student Liaison Members, Sidney Haydrick, Sophia Moran Swanson. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 3 on the agenda is an approval of the agenda as presented in your packet. We're looking for a motion.
So moved,
by
Joe.
Amy.
Heard
Joe.
Joe first.
Oh,
Is there a
I didn't hear.
second?
I'll second.
Great. Thanks, team. Any questions regarding the agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and those opposed? And that motion carries. Item number 4 is an approval of the minutes of the regular school board meeting from December 13th, 2021. Looking for a motion. Thank you, Jim. Is there a second? I'll second that. Any questions regarding the minutes of December 13th meeting? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And those opposed? And that motion carries. Number 5 is an approval of the minutes of the special school board meeting held December 20th, 2021. Looking for a motion.
So moved by Amy.
There's a motion by Amy. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Larry. Any questions regarding our special school board meeting? Minutes. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And those opposed? And that motion carries. Moving on to the finance report. This motion will include a motion to approve the payment of bills dated December 16, 2021 in the amount of $271,319.13 covering checks 111675 through 111799 and approve the payment of bills dated January 10, 2022 in the amount of $184,979.37 covering checks 111800 through 111936. Looking for a motion.
So moved.
There's a motion by Lynn. Is there a second?
Second by Amy.
Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions regarding the finance report tonight for Steve? None for me. Okay. Thank you very much. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And those opposed? And that motion carries. Commendations and congratulations is next. The board would like to congratulate Peyton Rodberg for being named the 2021 Duluth News Tribune All-Area Volleyball Player of the Year. And the board would like to commend our students, staff, and teachers for contributing to the National Honor Society Coins for Kids fundraiser. The project earned just over $1,500 to purchase gifts for Bayview and Pike Lake Elementary students. Are there any other commendations or congratulations that we should make tonight that are needed for a timely reason? Otherwise, certainly let Lori know any commendations for our next board meeting. Thank you. We'll move on to public participation then. Public participation tonight. The school board meeting is a meeting that occurs in the public. It is not a public meeting. The public participation portion of our meeting is a time where we offer an opportunity for members of the public to address the board. Once we move from public participation, members of the public will no longer be allowed to address the board. As a general rule, the board will listen to members of the public but will not comment on or respond to any comments made by speakers. The board will not engage in dialogue, though any board member may ask questions. Please do not include the names of Proctor Public Schools students, employees, their title, or building location in your remarks for your own legal protection and the legal rights of our staff. Issues related to school district employees can be made in writing and can be directed to the Human Resources Department at Proctor Public Schools. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to speak. Speakers may not roll their time to another speaker. Please begin your presentation by stating your name, including the spelling, and who you represent if applicable. In the spirit of fairness to all participants, we request that you respect this format. Thank you for taking the time today to attend this meeting and to share your concerns. Is there anyone here that would like to address the board during public participation? No. But I would like to introduce our new director of curriculum and learning, Judy Battito. Did I say it right? Can you correct me? Vitito. Sorry, I'm so sorry. But I just wanted to welcome you and thank you for coming to our humble board meeting and for hanging with us during the organizational part of our meeting before our regular stuff here. So welcome, and today's your first day.
You don't have to touch it.
Thank you for the warm welcome to Proctor Public Schools. I'm looking forward to serving. I know I have some big shoes to fill, but I'm up for the challenge and looking forward to it. I'm humbled and proud to be part of such a great organization.
We are very happy to have you.
And Judy, you come with rave reviews. I have some families that I know from where your previous employer, that they got mad at me that they said that Proctor took you. So.
Well, thank you. I look forward to getting to know all of you. So
Wonderful.
Thank you.
All right. Well, then we'll move on to the consent agenda. We will look for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented in your electronic packet.
So moved.
There's a motion by Lynn. Is there a second?
Second by Amy.
Thank you, Amy. Any questions regarding our consent agenda? All right. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And those opposed? And that motion carries. Item number 10, items for individual action. First one is to approve and adopt the second reading of suggested district policy changes. These policies were included in your December 13th board packet. They include policy 203.2, the order of the regular school board meeting, policy 206, policy which is public comment at board meetings, policy 401, equal employment opportunity, policy 422, policies incorporated by reference, policy 509, enrollment of non-resident students, policy 534, school meals, and policy 604, instructional curriculum. Looking for a motion.
I'll make it, Larry.
Thank you very much. Larry, is there a second? Thanks, Jim. Does anyone have any questions regarding these second readings? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? And that motion carries. Item B is to adopt the 2022 through 2023 school calendar. It's in your electronic packet there. This would be draft 3. We'll look for a motion and a second, and then we'll have some discussion. I'll make the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Joe. Regarding the school calendar, draft 3 adjusts the, and I think in John's email to us, he indicated it adjusts the teacher workday to happen after semester break to allow teachers to have an opportunity to have a work day. And so that was the adjustment that was made. I think we had 2 4-day weekends, and this ends up with 2 3-day weekends and then 1 4-day weekend happening after the holiday. And then it also accounts for the some of our contracts have a holiday clause where we have to honor the next day closest to the holiday, so that acknowledges January 2nd as the holiday for Local 66, I believe, in particular, because they get Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and then New Year's Eve, New Year's Day holidays. So both those holidays are acknowledged in Draft 3's calendar. Are there any other pieces I'm missing, John?
No, you nailed it. Can you hear me okay?
Barely, but yes.
Well, I can speak louder.
Okay.
So I've shared this with our unions and our administration. We are fully supportive of this as well, Madam Chair.
All right. Does anyone have any questions for John regarding the adjustment made in the calendar or any other parts of the school district calendar?
And draft 3 also pushed
The Sunday before the rest of the school, lets out, which is quite traditional in many high schools. It still works for us. So the board officially adopts the school calendar, so no changes can be made until it goes through the board. So just know that whatever we decide, it is kind of what it is. Not even kind of, it just is what it is. So, okay. If there aren't any other questions or comments, go ahead and vote then. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And those opposed? That motion carries. Item C is to adopt a resolution of support for the City of Proctor Safe Routes to School grant application. We'll look for a motion and a second and then have a discussion.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Larry. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Lynn. Steve or John, do you want to talk about the Safe Routes to School grant application if you have any background on it?
I can speak real briefly, and then Steve can also talk a little bit about this. The city's been working on this for quite a while, and we have partnered with the city and the county in a number of safe routes to schools. This will tie nicely into the 2nd Street project as well. I've already written a letter of support from the district level, from my office. This is a formal resolution on behalf of the board. And Steve, do you want to add anything else?
I think we've got it on the agenda later on, and I'll talk about it when we have the map in front of us.
That's fine. Thank you. All right. Any questions at all regarding this grant application that we support? Wonderful partnership. Great. It's a resolution that will require a roll call, I believe.
Is the resolution, not a roll call.
No?
It is a resolution, so it does.
Yeah, we'll go ahead with roll call whenever you're able to promulgate that for us.
I'll finish it up. Ward,
Yes.
Shelton,
Yes.
Podgornick,
Yes.
Pockenich,
Yes.
Peterson, yes. Parmeter,
Yes.
McDonald.
Yes.
Thank you, unanimously approved.
I'm so sorry, clerk.
Okay.
I have to use that word anytime I
I
can.
have the worst jobs.
All right. Item number 10D is to approve and adopt policy 491, mandatory COVID-19 vaccination or testing and face coverings. Policy 491 was emailed to us on Friday. Board members, as you've had a chance and an opportunity to review the policy and certainly ask questions beforehand, we are electing to make a motion here, and I can make that motion. And is there a second? So we
Yeah, I'll
can
second
have
it,
more
Jim.
discussion. Thank you. Thank you, Jim. To have discussion regarding this policy that we're going to put in place in one pass. So, Lynn has been, can I just defer to you since you've had a couple conversations with MSBA et al. And Steve?
I have my notes written all over everything. There were a couple of webinars that they had about compliance. And Steve, you attended the one today, so if I misspeak, please stop me. There is a lawful directive by the state and the federal government to enforce this. We are waiting on the Supreme Court decision, but it sounded as if today the Supreme Court was not ruling on it. I heard on the 6 o'clock news. And so then this is in force as of today. So this isn't something that we just determined on our own. We had federal, OSHA, and MSBA recommendations. MSBA drafted the policy for us. And we do have the compliance timeline, which is included in our policy. It outlines what needs to be done. Any questions?
No, there's no questions. I guess I just want to make sure that we have a good plan in place for testing to make sure that it starts off correctly so that we don't have any problems. And I know I had already talked to John. Obviously, with enforcing this policy, there might be some people that have a strong opinion about it. So just to make sure we have some sort of contingency plans if we start to lose any staff or hear
Just to make sure we have some sort of
Was I echoing? Oh, okay.
Okay. I know, and John, do you want to just speak to the testing component and where conversations have happened in the district office and administration and nursing offices?
Yeah, I can. We've worked pretty long and hard with this, and big thanks to Robin and Steve and Lori in the district office with the compliance on this. In addition to that, ARC has helped us roll out a method of recording this and making sure that we are in compliance in Smart ER. Smart ER is the place where our employees log in and find out what their payroll is. They get their W-2 forms. They can change their payroll information, look at their accumulated vacation, and all those things. In addition to that, now there's a tab that allows you to enter your immunization records. In addition, we're requiring everybody to log in and decline if you are not vaccinated. So by declining to turn in your vaccination, in effect what you're doing is you're saying, hey, I'm going to be, I'll test. And that's just part of the federal rule. There's nothing we did to establish this, as Jen pointed out and as Lynn pointed out as well. So we're meeting with administration and our health department tomorrow to talk a little bit about where we are with testing and how we're going to schedule that. One of the things we really wanted to do, and I'm kind of getting ahead a little bit of my report, is that we want to make sure we know how many people we're dealing with, how many employees that we have to deal with relative to our testing program. So how many people, how many employees have registered and verified their vaccination status? And right now, as of this afternoon, when we left school, we had 244 employees verify their vaccination status. And I've been rolling this out for almost a month now, and today we really had some movement. We're at about 90% of our current employees. I think that'll rise a little bit. I would estimate that we have about 275 active employees now. That's everybody from, we have 500 paid employees, but right now, people who are working for us, our employees, we have about 275. So it looks like, we have to deal with, right now, maybe 30 employees and scheduling the tests in 3 different sites, which means probably 10 employees if we were just to be average, 10 employees in each one of our buildings for testing. So that's what we envision. We'll have a plan put together by tomorrow, no later than the end of the week. And we don't need to implement testing until the first part of February.
Thank you. Board members, just a question, if you were able to upload your vaccination status or your decision in Smart ER. If you need any help, Lynn and I both did it. I'm happy to help. Want to phone a friend, Joe? Okay.
Or call district.
Yeah, or call. Robin can certainly walk you through. I'm happy to help you. I'm home tomorrow.
Is it the same thing that Rachel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just. Okay. Yeah. Larry, do you need help loading yours in?
Probably.
Okay. Call me tomorrow.
Otherwise, Lori and Robin, and everybody in district office knows how to do it.
Sure.
Any of us can help.
Yeah. So sometimes it's just getting the information, even if it was in paper for right now, just getting it into the office so it's there. So okay. You're good?
Yeah, I got my card on me if they need it.
Okay. Yeah, we're
I
supposed to
didn't
log
know-
it
I
into.
didn't know if I was supposed to do it online when I seen it because it said employees, but I didn't classify myself as an employee because I
Right.
walked into school.
So in the past, and I talked to Robin last week, we've never had to log into Smart ER. That's how everyone else gets their pay stub. But she just mails out ours because we're so infrequent in how that's directed. So she just has never enrolled us, but we all have numbers.
Okay.
And then you were emailed your number, and then there's a separate direction as to how to do it. It really wasn't too bad at all. Lynn and I have 2 numbers because of different things that we do, and it was easy just to kind of,
And that would have been all the stuff that she would have sent us.
yep.
Okay, I'll just look through
Yeah.
them in
All right.
because I seen some stuff, but
Sure.
I didn't know.
Yeah, call me if you need help, or call Robin or Lori.
Okay.
Thank you.
But you have a good point. I mean, are we technically employees? I think there was some hang up with that. So where does that lie?
I think board members need.
Yeah.
There's a clarification piece, and MSBA talked about it today. It hasn't been firmly determined whether you're employees or employers. And they're waiting for a ruling on it. If you're comfortable, just upload it and be done with it. If you're not, we can wait for the ruling. But there has not been a definitive decision made at this point. You're getting paid by the district, you'd be considered employees, but you're also elected, you could be employers. So
Definitive decision made at this point.
Okay.
So if you're comfortable, comfortable uploading it, just do it. Let's be done with it. If you're not, we can wait for the decision.
Thank you, Steve. All right. Any other? Any other questions regarding this policy at all, or?
Do we do a second reading of this? that's how we typically,
It's
We
an
don't- we don't
emergency.
need a
Because it's
second
Emergency, it's.
Okay.
Because it's an emergency,
okay.
and that's in our policy 208.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then, and by and large, this was crafted, as many are, by MSBA, and
Yeah.
we've taken their lead on that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I heard you say that, so thank you.
Yep, please, Steve.
I'm just going to clarify one thing. The OSHA ruling gave us a ruling and it gave us an alternative. The ruling officially was everybody has to be vaccinated unless you have a medical thing. The alternate was you have to be vaccinated or you could choose not to be vaccinated and go through the testing. We selected to do the choice. So we weren't going to require people to be vaccinated without, so if you don't have a doctor's note, it's okay. So we were selecting the less restrictive piece.
Because the MSBA sent 2 sample policies, one was 490, one was 491. We have elected 491.
Okay.
And so those people can be tested on a weekly basis rather than the alternative. Thank you, Steve.
I'll do mine. Joe and I were apparently bad children because we weren't able to get in right away.
It's just because of where you live.
Did you ever see the email?
Yeah, I saw that.
It's just where you live.
You got the same email I did. For some reason, you and I couldn't. We had to wait to do ours, and then I totally forgot about it. So I'll do mine. Until you guys mentioned it, I totally forgot about it.
It's really, it's easy. I've been in there.
All right.
Yeah, try harder.
Okay. Any further questions regarding this policy that we're going to pass tonight? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Any abstention?
I'll abstain. Yep.
Okay. Hang on, I have to go back.
Is there a legal reason for your abstention or just personal reason?
Personal reason.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to items for discussion and information. Then we'll start with the superintendent update. John?
Hey, Madam Chair, once again, I just want to thank the board for understanding. I need to be close to home this afternoon, and there was just some things going on. So I appreciate that for allowing me to be here. It's the first time I got a chance to see our board meetings live on Rails TV. Thank you, Ted. You do an outstanding job. I'm impressed that you put the item numbers underneath the board, the topics in which we were talking about. It looks pretty classy. Thanks, Ted. So I want to keep this really brief because this is a remote thing for me, and I'd just be certainly available for questions. The most importantly for our curriculum, I just wanted to reiterate, is Judy still here?
She is.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Judy, gosh, what a trooper. You're here. She got here at 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock now. Same pay, Judy.
Same pay.
We are really excited to have Judy join us today. We had a little bit of influx as far as where we were going to find an office for our new director of curriculum and learning. She's decided to, and I don't know about this, Judy, she's decided to share an office with Diane Morin. It's a pretty unique situation. Diane and Judy, both elementary principals at different times in their careers, both passionate about curriculum, and I think it's going to be a nice mix. So watch for Judy around the district, and thank you so much for being here and for spending a long day with us. As far as every other things on the curriculum agenda, I just want to note that the scope and sequence of our pathways and programming on our curriculum is coming along really nicely. On Wednesday, we have a big Essentia Health career day at the high school. There will be media coverage. It's all day long, starts at 8:30 and goes to about 2:30. So if you're around, if you want to see that Pathways project, certainly pop in as a board member and witness that. Those are the two things I wanted to talk about in curriculum and instruction. Management and leadership, Steve's going to talk a little bit about what we're doing with the city relative to 2nd Street and the other construction around our building to facilitate safe schools and different sidewalks. So he'll be talking about that a little bit later. Certainly, the ETS and the OSHA compliance is a big concern of ours. I do want to talk a little bit about infection rates. As you know, the Omicron variant is kind of reaching its surge right around now. We hope for it to dissipate at the end of January, and allow us to continue in school learning the way we'd like to. We'll be meeting with school administration tomorrow to talk a little bit about events as we move into February, like Snowball, and put a firm seal if this is going on or not. I believe Tim wants to move forward with this, so we'll have answers and we'll get information out to everybody in our communities midweek. But we understand the urgency of putting things into place, because you just don't go buy a dress for Snowball the day before. And so we're well aware of that, and we're paying really close attention to our infection rates. We're a little bit spiked here. It's the infection rate's down up north, which is good to see. But then again, we were away from school and there wasn't a lot of reporting. We do not have big problems with subs right now. Certainly, sometimes our administrators need to stop into a classroom and be an instructor for a day, especially at the elementary. But we're able to manage, and I think we're going to be doing fine. Facilities and transportation, we are moving forward with some of our grants that finally came through. We're going to be installing 20 mobile hotspots in our buses in the next upcoming few weeks, and so that's exciting to see. And then for community involvement, again, I alluded to this a little while ago about the redesign of 2nd Street. And so, is that second? Yeah, it's 2nd Street. I think I have 2nd Avenue on my superintendent update. But those are some of the things I wanted to highlight. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask at this time.
Yeah, John, this is Amy. I just have a comment. I think Steve is telling me there. I'll go to the school once in a while and just wander the halls for the day, or I did the lunchroom on Friday.
Yeah, John, this is Amy. I just have a comment.
Can you mute?
I think Steve is telling me there. I'll go to the school once in a while and just wander the halls for the day, or I did the lunchroom on Friday.
Don't.
John, this is Amy. I just have a
You've got to mute. Okay. I think he did. Okay. Anyways, one of the things, just based on it's nationwide, we know that there's some concerns, but if one of the administrators has to go and sub for a day or for a few hours, it might be nice if you could go sit in the office just to have a presence there. So if a kid does need to be taken out of a class, that somebody would be there, just a presence when a principal's having to teach for the day or something. Just a suggestion.
Maybe the question, John, what other cross covers do we have in our buildings for administrators? if one, administrator is covering in a classroom. Like I know Matt Solberg has covered a classroom. I know Sarah Clevey has popped in and covered a classroom. But if Tim has to cover, do we have any other cross coverage or what does that look like for our district right now?
Are you asking me? Are we watching? Are we making sure that we have coverage in the principal's offices if a principal needs to step into a classroom? Is that the question?
That's my question, yeah, because it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, well, we absolutely certainly make sure that that things are covered. It most often occurs in the elementary where Diane will walk into a fourth grade class for part of the day.
But then Mr. Awesome is there. I guess when I've been there at the middle school and high school, if one of the principals are teaching for an hour or two in a row, I haven't seen anybody in the office.
Would that have been normal any other year though? Probably. I'm just
I don't
having
know. I just
conversation.
think right now, like sometimes the kids are being asked to leave a room and then they're just in the hallway because there's nowhere to really send them. So that's why it might be nice to have a presence there to assist the.
No, I just think right now, like sometimes the kids are being asked to leave a room and then they're just in the hallway because there's nowhere to really.
You gotta mute, John.
So,
Madam Chair, if I could.
Go ahead.
No, I don't think I'm on mute. I guess I don't know what Amy is asking.
It was just a suggestion that if we have principals and we know Matt has to go walk lunches or he has to go teach too, if we have nobody there, that we have somebody come, maybe you come to the principal's office just to have a presence. Because I mean, we're short-staffed everywhere, so I know we all have to everybody's got to do 10 to different jobs sometimes. That's the only thing I'm suggesting.
I mean, we're short-staffed everywhere, so I know we all have to everybody's got to do 10 to different jobs sometimes. That's the only thing I'm suggesting.
All right, thank you. I'll make sure that we keep an eye on that as we move into our meeting tomorrow. We'll have that discussion as well. Thank you, Amy.
Yep. Joe, you had a comment. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. I'll make sure that we keep an eye on that.
Thanks, John. Joe, did you want to go ahead?
Madam Chair, you asked, is that different than in a normal year? And Tim is out venturing into classrooms as part of his job. He's monitoring halls as part of his job. And I believe the way they cover that, and even if they're going into a classroom to teach, is I believe they have portable radios that they use, and other administrators covering. You have Barb and Chris in the senior high office that can grab a radio and chase them down. So other than a person sitting there, which Tim isn't always just sitting there, there seems to be coverage.
Thank you. I do have a question just regarding absences as we've started our return, to school last week and then now this week. Do we have many unfilled teaching positions daily that are unfilled as opposed to, I heard Hermantown, didn't we hear last week? Hermantown was sharing an example that they had their students in the common area because they didn't have enough coverage. And so all their students were sitting in the atrium area as a large study hall because they didn't have coverage in their classrooms. So I'm just wondering, in our district, are we finding that we have many uncovered classrooms on the daily or since we've come back from break? Does anyone have any information on that?
Last Friday as well, we had 10 teachers out, which isn't all that unusual on a Friday right after break. But of those 10, 2 were unfilled at the high school, but they were classes that could be filled part of the day. Two were unfilled, but those were filled with teachers who take bank time and step into those classes. We haven't had large scale, no teachers in classrooms as you alluded to with the example that you used for Hermantown.
Okay.
So every day I check in with Lori in the office, and I say, "What's absent management look like today? Are we full? Are we covered?" And yeah, we struggle at times, like everybody, but I think we're holding our own.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions from the superintendent update from board members for John? Okay. We'll move on then to item B, which is just a note about upcoming MSBA workshops for board officers and negotiation seminars. I think they just sent this out last week, so do check your email, and if you're interested in any of those workshops that are coming up, there are some, I believe, virtual, and there were some that were going to be held in person, so certainly options to fit your desired need. If you're interested, certainly let Lori know, and she can sign you up for that, because those do come at a cost and have a deadline. And I know that Kim and Jim and Amy are planning on traveling to the workshops this week and the convention this week. So thank you for representing our district, and come back with some good stuff. Joe wants pens.
We got a lot of workshops and stuff, so we'll just have to jump right in there and see how it goes.
Yeah.
It will be interesting, yeah.
Oh. Okay. Public relations update. I'll just highlight some items relating to the district from the Proctor Journal. Certainly like to mention our Students of the Week, including December 16th edition, Bryden Kalenda. The December 23rd edition, Emily Rager. December 30th edition, Erin Nicholson was our Student of the Week. And the January 6th edition, Samantha Walker. In the News Tribune on December 11th, they featured Peyton Rodberg and her award for being the Volleyball Player of the Year. Moving on to reports in item number 12 then. School Board Committee reports. It's been a quiet winter break for everyone and much needed, I'm sure. I don't think anyone has met other than a quick policy meeting. That was last time, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. Social media report is in your packet.
Oh, staff development met, and I will get the notes to the next board packet.
Sounds good.
And curriculum is meeting next Monday. We were supposed to meet tonight, but we'll be meeting next Monday.
Okay. I don't know of any other meetings that are coming up for us. Social media report is in your packets. You can see our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter hits and followers. And the enrollment report for January 2022 is hanging in there and looking like we added a couple students, which is good. Always like to see that maintain as we move into February with the semester change. Questions at all for anyone or about anything in those items? We'll move on then to communication with school board comments and observations. Anything for board members to add at this point? The floor is open. Go ahead.
Madam Chair, if I could. I just would like to thank a whole slew of people, and I know I'm going to leave people out, but we just completed the first annual ever Bill McGann holiday ice hockey tournament for the boys. And I know, as usual, it takes a lot of effort to put an event like that together. So I would like to extend my thanks to Anthony, to Regis, to Dave Rialts, to Nate Pavlovich, to you, Ted, and to all the volunteers that volunteered to make that tournament a success. I believe Mora took the cup home, but the response I heard from coaches from other areas was fantastic. They all want to come back and play, so it was a great event. And Mogs, if you're out there listening, man, it was a great tournament. Come next year. We had a lot of fun.
Very nice, Joe. Thank you for that. It's been I mean, when I grew up, I remember there was the holiday tournament way back when.
Right.
You know, dragging out of bed to go do the stats for the hockey team on break. So nice to have it back. Okay.
No.
Any other board member comments?
I was just going to say, I recently subscribed to the, Ted, help me out, is it the Barn Cam, or what is the,
Live
for
Barn?
athletics,
Oh.
Live Barn?
Yeah.
Yes, that is fantastic. If you're a fan of Proctor Athletics, or actually any high school in the country, you can pretty much pull up. I watched my old high school state tournament from a few years ago for kicks. And but it's really fun. It's well done, and I was really excited to see that you've been a part of it. I don't think I'm the last person to subscribe to it. So if you're a fan of that, it's fantastic to kind of slow down and watch that goal or
I was really
whatever it may
excited to see
be.
this.
So
John,
it's been a lot of
mute.
fun, and I'm glad that we have a partnership
gotta
with that
mute, John.
organization.
Sorry about that, Kim.
Is your
That's
phone
okay.
turned off?
Ted, did you say that was Live Barn?
No,
.com. Thank
We're just still picking up some of your live TV feedback that's on delay sometimes if you forget to mute your computer. That's all.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I just couldn't hear. It's two mics going on. Sorry about that.
and it's hockey. Do we have it for football yet, or I know we have it for hockey and basketball, volleyball. Sorry, I direct my questions to Ted.
The NFHS network is a program that has allowed us to actually have cameras not only in our gym here but also at Eggerdall. So, because it goes back to COVID, January 14th through March 16th of last year when we did 85 live broadcasts in that 2 months and 2 days.
Wow.
And Rails TV, though we would love to do that, just can't ever do that again just because of home lives and everything else. So we were lucky to fall into this and be able to have it to not only use for the high school but also for the youth associations in the area and stuff like that. It's been a really, really good thing, well received, especially with tournaments. During the GAN tournament, we had people from all over the area watching because of grandparents who couldn't be here. So it's been a really good deal. It's the NFHSnetwork.com, network.com.
Thank you.
Cool?
Thank you.
Rock and roll.
Is there a cost?
There is a subscription fee to
Is
it.
there a subscription fee?
Okay, just
I was
walk
going to
over.
try to answer for you, Ted.
Sorry, I should have said that since I say it in our broadcast. It's there is a fee. It's $10 a month. It's like 11 with tax or whatever, or $69.99 a year. And as you were saying, the cool part about it is not just Proctor Sports. So like if our teams travel somewhere and they have this system, like I know with talking to the AD and Hibbing, Keith Turner, they're going to be getting it up there. So when our teams travel, you can watch it for that same fee. Or, I watched the State of Georgia high school championship games for their different classes about a month ago. Want to see football? Holy goodness. That's all I'm saying. It was some amazing stuff. But yeah, so like $10-11 for a month or $69.99 a year.
And it's good footage. I mean, it really follows the play. It's nice.
I call it witchcraft
Yeah, it is a little
Because
bit kind
I'm
of
so
tricky.
unsure how it follows the puck and knows. I'm lost. So I call it witchcraft because I have no idea, and I'm the tech guy.
Do we pay for that service within our own building to have that?
What do you mean?
So, did we contact NFHS Network and say, we want this, and they said, yes, you can have it for $5,000?
No,
Plus, we
what-
also ask people to subscribe.
No, what they do actually is normally they actually give 2 systems to a prospective school at free of charge.
Sure.
And they're responsible for all the upkeep, maintenance, install, all of that. And then we wanted a third one, and they made a deal for $1,500 for a third camera so that we could have all 3 locations covered. So for
Awesome.
$1,500, we're getting everything, and we can summer baseball over there, summer lacrosse, soccer, everything that happens at Eggerdahl, as long as we have a schedule and we can turn it in, we can do that. The youth basketball, the high school basketball, volleyball, when they're doing the, what's the volleyball outside of the high school stuff? I forget what it's called. Like the winter league volleyball stuff, or even here, like I said, with all the youth or people coming in. I mean, if we want to have a staff kickball tournament over at Eggerdahl, we can put that up there. So that's the nice thing about being able to have cameras in all 3 locations. So, anything else?
No, we'll wait till you get over there.
I'm going to wait right here. I'm waiting right here till I understand that you're totally done.
If you're curious, I can pull it up after our meeting and just kind of navigate around.
Perfect. Oh,
Thanks,
the other
Jen.
nice thing is it goes to our coaches. I forgot to say that. They can actually, every game gets emailed directly to the coach right after it's done. And they also, we're working on trying to perfect how, there's an app that they can actually have on their phones so they can record practices and be able to go back and look at the drills they did and things like that. It's a pretty cool system. So,
Awesome.
Very neat.
cool deal.
Thank you. The last call for any board member comments tonight, especially if you have any for Ted.
Jim and I are celebrating our first year
Yeah.
as school
no,
board members.
It's been interesting.
It
It's been
is.
good, yeah.
We made it.
Yeah.
So,
And that's all we have to say, though.
That's
Ted
all.
said it all himself. Yeah, no, it's good.
but I think we're both looking forward to the conference this year. I think that should be
We made it.
good for us. So, thank you.
All right. We'll move on then to student liaison board member comments, and there are no liaison members here. I think we have athletics and other things competing with their time. Looking forward to talking to them soon. End of the semester's coming up, so lots of things going on. We'll move on then to township and city communications. The city of Proctor is in the planning stages to redesign 2nd Street and portions of the streets and walkways adjacent to the secondary site. This project is scheduled for the summer of 2023, and I'll turn it over to Steve, who's been involved in some of the conversations. The city has welcomed us to the table to talk about what our needs might be at the same time.
We've been invited to be part of the steering committee, and right now they're in design process, so there's not specific timing, things like that, other than it's a 2023 project. As you look at the map that was in your electronic packet, you'll see that 2nd Street is in there. Some of the things that we're talking about right now is road width, where's the sidewalk going to be. They're talking about a path on one side, a paved right now we're talking about a 9-foot path that would be bituminous on the other side of the road. So for bicycles and things like that, and so it'll be sidewalk. Right now it's intended to be sidewalk one side, bituminous on the other side. We also talked about, are there going to be bump outs? Is there going to be parking? Some of those type things. Right now the intention is parking on the one side only. And road width is we're talking about 34 feet, which is a good road width for us. We're talking about not having any bump outs. The city said they couldn't have one on 5th Street. I represented that we couldn't have one on 9th Street. Or, I'm sorry, they said on 5th Avenue, and I said we can't have one on 9th Avenue because we've got buses, we've got semi-trucks coming through there, they'd be driving over it all the time. It's also a plowing challenge, so the decision has been made that we're likely not going to have bump outs at this point. But as part of this project, they're also talking about doing 9th Avenue from First Street to 3rd Street. So that would be from our upper parking lot on the south side all the way up to 3rd Street, which is the roadway on the north side of our building. They're talking about doing 3rd Street from 9th Avenue to Ogstead Road. If you've been on that recently, that's horrid. So they're gonna do something there. We'll design in a widened spot for parent pickup again. Part of the safe routes to school piece we're working on includes sidewalk in front of the high school from the south parking lot to where the receiving parking lot entranceway is. It doesn't go all the way to 3rd, but just to the entranceway. So when someone comes down 2nd Street, they can cross 9th Avenue and be on a sidewalk, as opposed to have to walk through the street to get to the school. We're also looking at a pathway which is a bituminous surface that would go from where the middle school sidewalk is on 3rd Street all the way around the corner to 4th Street, so they could get to the mud field on a walkway. And that's also where the city bus runs. So I mean, there's some good logic behind it. I think it's a well thought out project. SEH has done the initial engineering. We had lots of conversations and lots of ideas shared. We tweaked some things. We made some changes. There will be an assessment associated with this project that the school district is going to be responsible for. It's okay. We're going to have a nice road in front of the building. We're going to have a nice road we should be excited. So that wasn't a real topic of discussion for us. Really, it was a design, and they've got a really nice project put together. I put in at least initial discussions as to what our documents were that we were working off of, and I'm certainly willing to respond to any questions you may have. The thing I didn't mention is we will have all the handicap associated at the corners and with the curb cuts and things like that. So I can respond to any questions you may have.
Thank you for representing the district. You've had a lot of experience with just some of these projects in the past, and I appreciate your input, your insight, and your willingness to kind of help us navigate through that.
Yeah, no, just with my background, it was a good conversation. I can add input, I can add value to this project, and I appreciate the fact that we've been invited to do that. I think as things continue to evolve, our biggest concerns are going to be timing. When does it start? When is it going to be done? We've got some philosophical. We've had some discussions just internally. Is construction better in the spring for us or better in the fall for us? Because they won't get it done in 3 months, and I think, we'll work with them. But it's been a privilege. It was a really good group that had ideas and was listening and would change as a group. And I think with the people that were there, I don't think everybody came with the same idea, but we all left supporting what the group decision was made.
Any questions at all regarding the project? Thank you again. Is there anything else that board members need to talk about at all before we move to the last item on the agenda tonight? Hearing none, then item number 14 will be a motion to adjourn. Is there a motion?
So moved by Amy.
There's a motion by Amy. Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Thank you, Jim. Any questions regarding the adjournment? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? That motion carries. We're adjourned at 8:31. Thank you, everyone.